Good day, I'm Adrian Atkinson and this is your JIS News for Tuesday, July 2. Jamaica is poised to capture more of the Canadian leisure market after welcoming the inaugural Air Canada Rouge flight between Toronto and Kingston. Flight 1920 touched down at the Norman Mann International Airport Monday morning, and the airline is to begin services to Montego Bay on November 1. Jamaica was chosen as the first destination for the exciting and innovative new vacation airline that's a wholly owned subsidiary of Air Canada.
We chose Jamaica in recognition of the tremendous partnership between our two countries.
It's also part of a strategy by Air Canada to get a chunk of the growing international leisure market, but Tourism Minister Dr. Wickham McNeil says Jamaica has just as much to gain.
Canadians are very familiar with destinations such as Negril, Montego Bay and Ocho Rios, but less so with Port Antonio and Kingston. We see the arrival of Rouge in Kingston as an opportunity to introduce more Canadians to the unique and often unexplored pleasures of our capital city and Port Antonio, Jamaica's most eco-friendly town.
The Tourism Minister says Jamaica welcomed more than 403,000 Canadians in 2012, representing a steady increase every year for the past 9 years in a row. With Rouge's addition to the market, that increase in visitors from Canada is expected to continue for many years to come. 20,000 people in 4 communities are to benefit from a $6 million landslide mitigation project. Harbour Heights, Melbrook Heights and Bedward Gardens in St. Andrew and Breastworks in Portland were selected based on social vulnerability and the high risk associated with landslides, among other factors. The Office of Disaster Preparedness and Emergency Management, ODPEM, recently signed a contract with the National Works Agency for the design and supervision phase of the project. This involves the construction of mosaic architecture to reinforce hillsides, the construction of drains and rainwater harvesting.
This community-based landslide risk reduction project is a part of a bigger framework as it relates to building disaster-resilient communities. So we are moving a little further, even greater distance in the marathon as it relates to now effectively starting to do the engineering work on the ground.
The project is to be completed within a year. In addition to a training component, the project will also be used to create a toolkit for the Caribbean region. The long-standing issue of backlog in the island's courts will soon be a thing of the past. Minister with responsibility for information, Senator Sandria Faulkner, says Cabinet has approved a backlog reduction strategy to address the high number of court cases and their slow rate of disposal.
From as far back as 2007, a report of the Jamaica Justice System Reform Task Force recommended, among other things, that there be a focused backlog reduction strategy. This would help to dispose of the older cases and build momentum toward a more comprehensive and permanent reform in the justice system.
And to complement the backlog reduction strategy, Cabinet has also approved amendments to the Criminal Justice Act to facilitate sentence reductions on some guilty pleas. This will also make it possible for the Court of Appeal to review mandatory minimum sentences imposed by the trial court in some cases. More details will be provided soon by Justice Minister Senator Mark Golding. The country is much closer to having a child and adolescent hospital in Western Jamaica after the Health Ministry recently received a concept paper for the facility. Portfolio Minister Dr. Fenton Ferguson says the concept paper is to be submitted to the Development Bank of Jamaica to invite private participation after internal review. The hospital, which is to be located in St. James, will cater to the health needs of children and adolescents. Dr. Ferguson says the institution is to become a national centre of excellence and an example of best practice for public-private partnerships. And finally, Education Minister Reverend Ronald Thwaites has charged new graduates to make use of the quality education and opportunities afforded to them. The minister was speaking last Wednesday at Ferncourt High School's graduation ceremony.
30 years ago, it was about 35% only of the secondary school cohort, who had a chance of a 5-year education in Jamaica. This year, it's over 95% of the grade 7 age students who are going to have the opportunity of a 5-year secondary education. Jamaica is doing well. We're trying hard to make sure that we increase the investment in education for all our children.
Youth Minister Lisa Hanna, meanwhile, shared plans for a new school in the area.
Yes. In 1 or 2 years from now, Ferncourt will not only be the only high school in Southeast Zetland.
And that's it for JIS News today. I'm Adrian Atkinson. Thanks for watching.